one-person business and have it powered entirely by AI. And look, we're not talking about some sci-fi fantasy in the distant future. This is a real, step-by-step blueprint for how you can do it right now, and it really represents a fundamental shift in what a single person can achieve. So let's just forget the hype for a minute and get right into the strategy. This quote right here really says it all. The entire landscape of entrepreneurship is being completely rewritten by artificial intelligence. Just think about it for a second. What used to require huge teams, tons of venture capital, and years of development is now totally within reach of a single, focused individual. The barrier to entry, it's pretty much gone. 1,000 times. This is the key number. It represents this absolutely staggering collapse in the cost of doing business. You know, a task that might have cost you $3,000 in days of manual work just a few years ago? Well, today, an AI can do it in minutes, for about $3. This isn't just a small improvement, right? This is a revolution. It makes massive, multi-million-dollar ideas achievable for just one person. Okay, so where do you even begin? In a world where intelligence itself is basically becoming a commodity, you can't compete on technology alone. Your success is going to come from what makes you and your perspective unique. It's all about finding your unfair advantage. And to find that advantage, we can use a really simple but incredibly powerful tool called the Founder's Triangle. This framework helps you quickly figure out if your idea has what it takes to succeed by asking just 3 very specific questions. So let's break this down. First up is domain. Have you spent years in a specific industry? You know the jargon, the pain points, the people. That right there is a massive head start. Second, depth. What's your unique craft? That one skill you're naturally good at, the thing that feels like play to you, whether it's coding, writing, or design. And third, distribution. Do you have a built-in audience or a network you can tap into? Now here's the key. You only need one of these to be green to get started. But if all 3 are green, well, you are on a seriously accelerated path. And this brings up a crucial piece of advice from top founders. The biggest opportunities are almost always in the boring industries. You want to look for sectors that rely on tedious, human-heavy workflows, because that's exactly where AI can make the biggest impact. So for example, don't just pick restaurants. Get super specific. Pick something like inventory management for high-end Cantonese restaurants in Chicago. See? That's the level of focus where you find real, painful problems that you can solve. Okay, so you found your niche, you have a solid idea. Now you're at a crossroads. And there are 2 clear, proven paths to building an AI services business. And the one you choose depends entirely on your personal strengths and honestly what you actually enjoy doing. On one side, you've got the consultant. Your job here is to provide clarity, not code. You're a strategist, an educator. You sell things like AI audits to show businesses where they can improve. This is perfect for great communicators. On the other side, you've got the builder. You're the implementer. You're the one building the AI agents and the automations, maybe using no-code tools. You just love to make things work. And the most important thing to remember here is you do not have to be both. Your real power comes from specializing in one. Now for the really exciting part, getting your business off the ground. Forget waiting around for months. This is an actionable, data-backed plan that thousands of beginners just like you have used to launch and land their very first client. And they did it incredibly fast. 9 days. No, that is not a typo. That is the median time it takes for a beginner to land their first client using this exact method. So what does that tell you? It tells you that the market is absolutely starving for this kind of help right now. Businesses know they need AI, but they're drowning and they have no idea where to even start. So how do you get a client in 9 days when you have no experience? You use the free project strategy. Now listen, this is not charity. It's a highly strategic move. You're essentially buying your first customer for $0. You're overcoming their risk of hiring someone new, and at the same time, you're overcoming your own lack of a portfolio. It's a win-win. The process is actually pretty simple and logical. You start by offering a small, high-value project for free. Maybe it's a quick AI tools audit if you're a consultant, or a simple automation if you're a builder. Then you absolutely overdeliver. This gets you a real-world case study and a fantastic testimonial. And then you use that social proof to immediately pivot and start landing your first paid contracts. And look, the data backs this up completely. 73%. That's the percentage of people who are now earning 6 figures in this space who started their journey with a free project. The numbers are just undeniable. This strategy is the single most effective way to get the ball rolling. Landing your first client is a huge milestone for sure, but the real challenge in this fast-moving world isn't just starting a business, it's staying in business. Competition is fierce, and you need a long-term strategy to protect what you've built. To do that, you need to build what's called a moat. Just like a moat protects a castle from invaders, a business moat protects you from competitors. It's a sustainable competitive advantage that makes it incredibly difficult for other people to just copy what you do and steal your customers. Now, there are three main types of moats you can build. First, there's counterpositioning. Just think of how Netflix's subscription model made Blockbuster's late fees totally obsolete. Second, you have sticky habits. You make your product so essential to a user's daily workflow, like ChatGPT, that leaving becomes a real pain. And third, there's proprietary data. This is where you create a system so your product actually gets better the more people use it, creating the self-reinforcing loop of value. But even with the best business moat in the world, there's one final element that's more important than anything else. It's the one thing that separates a long-term success from a short-lived fad, and that's the founder's mindset. It's you. This right here, this is your ultimate moat. An AI can write code, it can analyze data, and it can automate tasks, but it cannot replicate these things. It can't replicate your taste, your unique purpose, your relationships, your judgment, or your critical thinking. In an age where intelligence is a commodity, these uniquely human qualities, they become your most valuable asset. So that leaves us with this final question. AI is a tool. You could argue it's the most powerful tool ever created. It can automate the how, but it can never, ever define your why. It can't automate your purpose. The blueprint is here. The opportunity is massive. So what will you build?